Okay, let's use those formulas a little bit to find the perimeter and areas of some quadrilaterals. So my first question here asks you to find the perimeter of a rhombus whose side is 5.4 inches in length. I'm going to do my captures or my drawings fairly quickly this time. Remember, a rhombus is a parallelogram, but what's true about its sides? They're equal in length. So this is my example of a rhombus. So each of these sides is 5.4. Remember, inches, 5.4 inches. Let's see. It says find the perimeter. Oh, wait a minute. What's the perimeter? That's the distance around. And so I could do one thing. I could add up all those 5.4s, or couldn't I say that there's 4 of them that are equal in length? And take 4 of 5.4 or multiply that together. And when I do that, I'll get 21.6. Remember, the units that were given were in inches, so you must tell me, since 5.4 was in inches, you must tell me that your answer is in inches. Okay, find the area of a square whose side is 9.2 feet. So here's my square, and its side is 9.2 feet. And remember, the area of a square is found by taking its side and squaring it. So you can either go 9.2 times 9.2 on your calculator, or you can take 9.2 and you can hit that squared key on your calculator. Either way, you should get an answer of 84.64. But remember, when you take feet times feet, you get an answer in feet to the second power. So the area is in square feet. Find the area of the ceiling in this room. Well, I'm just going to have to make that one up for you. So let's pretend that we're in a room that's, let's make it 15 feet by 25 feet. You know, maybe our purpose is to paint the ceiling. So first of all, there is our ceiling. So again, it's going to be, I think we said 15 feet by 25 feet. So the area of a rectangle is to take the base and multiply it by the height. So my base is the 25 feet and my height is the 15 feet. And when you multiply those two numbers together in your calculator, boy, I made these up. So let's see, 25 times 15. Should be able to do that quickly in my head. And I get 375. Remember, feet times feet should be represented as feet to the second power. You can write SQ and FT for square feet. You certainly can do that, because that's what Lowe's will do when they show you how much ceiling tile you're going to get when you buy a bundle, or how much paint you can cover with a gallon of paint. Find the perimeter and area of this parallelogram. So here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a parallelogram, and I'm going to have you pause. Again, you should always pause a little bit. So there's the parallelogram, and I'm going to give you the fact that this side is 7.5 feet right here. This side right here is going to be 3.7 feet. And then the distance between the parallel lines, the perpendicular distance between the parallel lines, is going to be 3.3 feet. And I want to know the perimeter and the area. So let's go with the area first. The area of a parallelogram is base times height. So height is the perpendicular distance between the parallel lines. So I'm going to have to use the 7.5 feet and multiply that by the 3.3 feet to get the area. And when I do that, I get 24.75 square feet. Please don't forget that you could call that 25 square feet. That's what the back of the book would do, because the original problem gave you 2 significant digits. You could call it 24.8. You could call it 24.75. It really doesn't matter to me. Okay, the perimeter of this parallelogram, there's 2 sides that are like this. So what if we took 2 times the 3.7 feet? Because there's 2 of them. And what if we took 2 of the 7.5 feet? because there's two of them, and added that all together, that would give us the distance around the outside. And I have a value of 22.4. Again, got to tell me feet. I was just adding up those lengths. Find the area of the trapezoid shown below. So I'd like you to find the area of a trapezoid whose base 1, if you don't mind my just doing this, is 52 feet, whose base 2 is 38 feet. So this is base 1, sub 1, and this is base sub 2. And the distance between the parallel lines, I'm just going to draw an arrowhead on each, and I'm just going to say that that distance is 10 feet. So let's see, the area is half the height times the sum of the bases. Again, I hope you practice before you just watch me do it. And so substitute in these values. So half of 10, that's kind of nice, that's going to be 5. And then the sum of the bases is 52 plus 38. I believe that adds to be 90. So half of 10, which is 5, and 5 times 90 is 450. Remember, these were in feet, I'm pretty sure, and so my answer should be in square feet because this was 10 feet. These added to be up a number in feet, and this feet times feet would give us square feet. Plus, it's an area, don't forget. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to have you do is to find the area and perimeter of a figure where there's no numbers involved. I think to make sure that I do a nice job of this picture, I'm going to go ahead and draw, first of all, a square. And then I'm going to go ahead and add onto that square. I'm going to add onto this a triangle right here and right here. Now I really did mean for it to start right there. There's my triangle. And so first I want to find the area of that shape, and all I'm going to tell you, I've told you that this is a square, so that means all these sides are right angles. And if that's the case, then so is this a right triangle. And then I'm going to call these sides the letter S, and I'm going to call this base of this triangle the letter B right here, and I'm going to call this hypotenuse the letter C. So I want to find the area. So first of all, I'm going to have to add up the area of the square, a formula for the area of the square, to the area of this triangle. So I'm going to have two parts, really. So let's see. The area of a square would be equal to the side times the side, and those are the letter S's. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 its base times its height. So again, remember I'm doing this in letters only, and I can only use S's, B's, and C's. I can't use H for this height because that is the height of this triangle right here. But, oh yeah, wait a minute. The letter S goes with that as well. So that's the height of that triangle. So right here I'd put half of B times the letter S. I'd replace H with the letter S. This S times S is S squared, and I am done. I've written a formula for the area of this pink shape in terms of S's, B's, and C's. I didn't have to use the C's. Now in this next segment, to find the perimeter, now I'm just talking about the distance around the whole shape. So this S, this B, this C, this S, and this S. Just add them all up for me if you would. As we went here, we took the S, and then the B, and then the C, and then another S, and another S, and you just need to be sure and simplify the expression. So you need to take S plus S plus S and call it 3S, and then bring the B and the C down, and you have a formula for the perimeter of that interesting shape. I might make another segment on some story problems, but that's it for now, using the formulas for area of quadrilaterals.